Good evening, fellow modelers. This is Lukáš again. I am recording another video for you tonight because I want to show you what progress I have reached so far. So first of all, I would like to show you that I have applied the decals. So let's start with the bow of the Titanic. So let me show you the bow. So here it is. I am trying to move the model closer to the camera so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So first thing is that I have applied the golden line decal on the side of the hull. Also, the name Titanic has been applied. I have got one comment here because according to all the pictures on the internet and in my books, the word Titanic, the letter C, should end straight underneath the third porthole from the anchor. As you can see, I have applied the decal underneath the fourth. This is the first porthole, second, third, fourth. So my letter C of the word Titanic has been placed underneath the fourth porthole. The reason for that is that, on the model, there is a very, very significant, huge diameter and very deep porthole in the black part of the hull, and the decal was kind of destroyed because it was pressed inside of the porthole here. I'm going to show you a detail of this, what I'm talking about, so you can see it. So can you see here? Yeah, there you go. Let me show you. Here we are. See? So this is what I wanted to talk about. So according to all the pictures, the letter C should be placed here. I have seen many pictures in my books and on the internet. However, because of the very deep porthole here, it just didn't look good. I tried, and it really didn't look good at all. So this is why I have placed the word Titanic, the decal, underneath the fourth porthole from the anchor. I mean, my audience will never recognize this imperfection, and frankly speaking, I don't mind. I mean, I don't have a problem with this. Another thing I would like to show you is the draft numbers. Let's see. Here they are. These are the draft numbers. And oh, this is a beautiful shot. Can you see that? How long the ship was. Look at that. Look at that beauty. I mean, it starts right here and it goes on. And here is the stern of the ship. This is a beautiful shot. I love it. Okay. All right. So let's move on. This is the golden line on the side of the ship. I'll try to move the model to show you a bit more detail. See, here we are. Here it goes. All along. And let me make a cut here and I will show you the stern, because there are also draft numbers just next to the rudder. And also I will show you the name Titanic and port of registration Liverpool just underneath. And all this is on the stern of the ship. So let me change the arrangement, and I will start the camera again after I have changed the arrangement of the scene on my desk. So, give me a second. Okay, here we are. So, I have moved the model a bit to show you the stern. So I will start with the words. This is the word Titanic, which is the name of the ship, obviously. And underneath here is the word Liverpool, which was the port of registration of Titanic. Here you are. I agree. I'm sorry for the camera not being very well focused. I'm hoping you still see it. Anyway, so I am not happy about the result of the golden line here on the stern. It was a very, very difficult task to really apply the decal correctly. I know that I did not succeed on this one. It really does look terrible. I'm sorry for that. Anyway, as I said, my audience will not, they will be happy anyway. You know, I am the only one who will ever be talking about it. So, I know I'm not perfect. My model is not perfect. But simply I didn't want to keep making some corrections during the decal application here, because from my experience from 20 years ago on the first model, I remember very well that if I'm trying to keep changing something and correcting something, it always ends up with a tragedy. So instead of cutting the decal in half, instead of spoiling the whole thing, I simply left the decal as it was on the first shot during the first application, and I wasn't even trying to move it or change it. I just left it as it was, and trying to avoid any worse result, you know. So, and now the draft numbers. I'm going to move the camera a bit to show you the rudder area. Here we are. This is a thing which I didn't have on my first model like 20 years ago. I was checking the model, I looked at it, I mean the old model, and those draft numbers are not there. For some reason I didn't care about applying this decal on the model 25 or 20 years ago, whenever it was. But this time I figured that, of course, in my books and on the internet, because I had done some research before the decal application. I did some research, and I figured that there was a line of draft numbers on the stern just next to the rudder, basically just before the rudder. So I applied the decals on this model, trying to make it as accurate as physically possible, considering limits of my modeling abilities and capabilities, you know. So this is the decal application. Now another cut, because I want to show you that I have also performed a dry fitting of the A deck. So let me make a cut here, change the arrangement of the model, and I will start again in a second. Okay, here we are. So this is my A deck. It's only a drive fitting. Let's also call it a trial fitting without, using any glue, because I need to be absolutely sure that the deck will end up where it should end up, which is here at the edge of the superstructure on the starboard side and port side here. This is the port side, this is starboard side. So here it needs to be equal, it needs to be lined up, which is good. That's a good news. I was also dealing with some troubles regarding the placement and fitting of the deck on the lower deck, which was the B deck, because of the windows I installed the other day. You remember my previous video, and the edge of the foil strap of the document cover, as you remember from my previous video. So I had to cut a little bit the top edge of the stripe to be able to place this deck correctly. As you can see, it's not glued, so it's moving, obviously. So what I have proved so far, that I am good with the edge here and here, which is making me happy, extremely happy. Moving back to the stern of the ship, there is another area where you need to be very careful, which is this end of the superstructure and this end of the superstructure. It needs to be again lined up with the end of the B deck. No, I'm sorry, I keep saying B deck, but we all know it's A deck. So if I press it a little bit with my finger, you see, this is not moving, which is good. It sits on the bottom deck very well, which is good. And the aft edge of the deck is also quite well lined up with the base of the lower superstructure, which is going to be placed here. It's very well lined up. Can you see that? Which is perfect. It's very good. So I think I will be able to glue this A deck in, but I already know that I will be facing a big problem here. I will show you. As you remember from my previous videos, I had to cut the H-shaped beams inside of the hull of the model. Otherwise, I wasn't able to install the B deck, which is this one. So because as you remember, the width of the hull was too narrow. I wasn't able to place this B deck inside of the model. To be able to do it, I had to cut the H-shaped beams in order to allow the model to spread a little bit. So what happened? The superstructure, this port side and here the starboard side, they are now too wide. There is too much space between them, which is basically punishing me now. It helped me with the B deck, but it's been punishing me on the A deck because as you can see, I will show you. Look at that. Look at this gap here. This gap shouldn't be here, nor it should be here. See? If I try to press it with my fingers, see, the superstructure is too wide, it's too spread. And I don't want to break it obviously, so I cannot just basically glue it in the deck and squeeze the superstructure using some kind of, I don't know, whatever, because it would basically break. So I don't want to go this way. So I know that as soon as I glue the A deck in, I will have to use plenty of putty and fill in this area here. It's been very obvious here. Can you see here? The gap is just too big. This is quite good, looks very good, but here there is a huge gap here, right? So I need to be careful about this one. As soon as I glue the deck in, I will have to fix this using plenty of putty. But otherwise I can't wait to go on. I mean, the model looks good. I am quite happy. So that would be it for today. I just wanted to give you a little heads up on how far I have got so far. So this would be it. Have a great time, everybody. Thank you very much for watching my channel. Thank you very much for any likes you may give me. I do appreciate every single follower. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care.